Good evening, everyone. My name is Sophia, and my research question has to do with what we can do to stop the mass shootings from happening. I collected my data from Mother Jones, and also I got some of my facts from this site called everytown.org, and I included them into my charts. So I did first go into the mass shootings on Mother Jones. I was able to download this data set from here. I saved it in my Excel, and then I was able to upload it into Tableau. So as you can see, this is where we're on the first page. I was able to go in. There were some things that I didn't need here, so I was able to go in and hide some of my columns that I didn't need. And after we did that, then we go to our sheet 1. Okay, so when we come here, we see our sheet 1. Okay, apologies, my tablet froze up. So when I wanted to keep my first chart very simple. So we went in and I brought up my data, and these are the different measures that I have. And now I just wanted to get a simple idea of fatalities, and they say that one of the number one signs that you can see is if the shooter had any prior mental health problems. So as we can see, I narrowed it down by either a yes or no, whether they had mental health problems. And as we can see, the blue represents no, they didn't have any mental health problems. And this is responsible, these group of people are responsible for 120 fatalities between the year of 2017 and 2022. And we can also see that the yes is represented by a much larger group of people, and they are responsible for 534 fatalities. I did a little research and I came out finding out some facts. The United States is not the only country with mental illness, domestic violence, video games, or hate-fueled ideologies, but our gun homicide rate is 26 times higher than our peer countries. The difference is pretty easy to see, is that we have very lax laws, and we have a lot of gun ownerships. And because of this, we have higher rates of mass shootings. We need to stand behind our lawmakers and push them to require further background checks on all gun sales, support the extreme risk laws that provide a process to temporarily remove guns from people showing warning signs, keep guns out of the hands of domestic abusers, and restrict assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. We go on to our second chart. Now this chart also, you can see, I wanted to keep it very bold and very simple. I wanted to show the normal gender, the race of our shooters, and if anybody close to them, meaning relatives, family members, or even the police, had seen any dangerous warning signs. And as we can see, so I have broken it down by gender. We have male, female. I was able to, the Excel sheet that I had before had male, female, and then M and F, and I was able to take out I was able to group the F and the female and the M and the male in order to make them one group. We also wanted to make the colors stand out for male and female, even though the rate for female is very low. But as we can see in the group, that white males contribute to more of the mass shootings, or have contributed to more of the mass shootings in America between the years of 2017 and 2022. You can see the number of victims here, 934. And so I wanted to make sure that we could see the numbers here. So I did go and click on the labels and click on show mark labels. You see if we take them off, you can't really read it. But I like with the number on top so we can see the numbers. Also, I researched and I found some information about this. In 56% of mass shootings, the shooter exhibited dangerous warning signs before the shooting. Guns and hate are a fatal combination. In an average year, more than 10,300 hate crimes in the United States involve a firearm, more than 28 each day. In most of the U.S., some people convicted of hate crimes can still legally buy and have guns. Congress and state legislatures must pass laws that keep guns out of the hands of those who have been convicted of hate crimes. People with dangerous histories must be prohibited from having guns. Federal law prohibits gun possession by certain categories of people. States also set standards for who is too dangerous to have guns. People prohibited by federal or state law will fail a background check if they try to buy a gun from a licensed dealer. So we move on to our third chart. Now this one I wanted to show by state the shootings between 2017 and 2022. By each state, their fatalities, and also it's shown that mass murderers or mass shooters generally harm or are shown to kill a close relative or intimate person in their life, someone close to them, before they go out on these shooting sprees. And these are supposed to be signs to help us be aware. So, as you can see, I went and the ones in pink mean that no, they did not kill anybody close to them before they went on their mass shootings, and green showing yes, they killed an intimate partner or a relative. I was able to, the fatalities are the numbers that we see here for each state, and they account for all of the deaths in that mass shooting. We were able to highlight the states and label the states. And as we can see, if we go over it, it will tell you exactly, yes, they did kill someone close to them in the state of Washington, and with 9 fatalities. I like the color difference. I liked it to show a little bit better and stand out. So this is what I was able to do. So more than half of mass shootings are domestic violence related. When a person is in crisis and considering harming themselves or others, family members and law enforcement are also often the first people to see the warning signs. Extreme risk laws, sometimes referred to as a red flag law, allows loved ones or law enforcement to intervene by petitioning a court for an order to temporarily prevent someone in crisis from accessing guns. 1 in 3 mass shooters are legally prohibited from possessing firearms at the time of the shooting. While federal law requires background checks for all gun sales by licensed gun dealers, it does not require background checks for guns sold by unlicensed sellers, like non-dealers who sell guns online or at gun shows. This loophole enables people with felony convictions, domestic abuse restraining orders, and other people with prohibiting histories to buy guns with no questions asked. The loophole should be closed to require background checks on all gun sales, not just on the sales of firearms from licensed gun dealers. Now we move on to our last chart. Now this is a very simple chart. It just shows the amount of fatalities and the amount of injuries. between the year of 2016 and 2022 with mass shootings. As we can see, there was a spike in 2017. This was the shooting at the outdoor concert in Las Vegas. This was a white male. I think he was around 70. So that spike is from there. Thank God it has gone down lower since then. As you can see, between the year of 2020 and 2021, it was fairly low because of the COVID and not as many people were out in public. People were more at home. So there was a very low rate of mass shootings at that time. However, we do see that already in 2022, we are up to 52 fatalities and 67 injured, and it's only July.